only on esportbf.com.
We've got the underdogs. The underdogs tribe here in the blue and ProLegion in the black, in the red here. Sorry, my words escaping me as we move into this game. And both teams are off to a very, very aggressive start here, moving throughout the map. We're seeing tribe here with the 2-3 split, 3 going towards that Bravo, where PLG hanging off with one of their reserves to see where they need it the most. We're going to jumping into Robson here, who smokes up and pushes towards that Bravo flag to start to engage through and get the high ground on Bravo.
Something that's really interesting straight off the gate is that Tribe has elected to completely give up mid-map control to PLG. You saw Dennis basically run straight down through silos, and Dennis is now peeking on that watchtower, though he gets taken out by Ash, who is holding near the house, but they've basically allowed PLG to get mid-map control. Now it's a 1v1 on the Bravo flag. Looks like Saint versus Rubber, so it's going to depend on who gets their spawns first. It looks like it's PLG Alpha getting a spawn off of Saint, so Rubber's going to find himself in a 2v1, 3v1 now, and potentially a costly mistake early on for Tribe, as they're going to have to start getting some rotations here. Kind of an interesting play to allow PLG to get mid-map control that early.
Yeah, you know, they pushed really aggressively onto Bravo. Their whole thought was, hey, let's take that side by the river, by the lake, and see if we can get in and lock down the building. Unfortunately, we saw Robson get the high ground first, take out some of those key players moving up the top, and with just 2 players left on, there's not much you can really do moving forward there. We really need to see Tribe take control of that mid-map, which they have done beautifully. Milk and Ash moving up towards Charlie to challenge the likes of Geordie. We're going to be jumping on Geordie here to see what he can do. He's popping with that Bren, and a really weird choice when it comes to the LMG play for these guys. It's usually the Lewis or the FG42 that we start to see played, and he's already put under a tremendous amount of pressure here, but he's got some backup behind him moving through that place that Tribe was at. So we really need to see Tribe move things down, as they're starting to lose Alpha as well.
Yeah, just a deadly mistake right there, although it does look like Tribe does have members on the Bravo flag. Ash and Skeptical Milk were very, very slow to rotate, and they've seemed to be extremely passive as the AC squad for Tribe thus far. And while Ash is doing his best here on the Alpha flag in a 2v1, he's going to get Robson. Alpha Evo is just going to hide in small room, going to maybe try and peek around and pick him off. It just looks like the AC squad for Tribe is being extremely passive, and that's allowing PLG to basically rotate and do whatever they want, get early on those rotations, and we almost saw ourselves an early triple cap here because of it.
Yeah, and we saw a very, very good play there by the Tribe guys. They were able to secure Alpha. Really good teamwork moving into that flag and repelling that attack. But now we're seeing Dens moving towards the mid-map control. We're seeing Tribe grab Bravo, and for once they're starting to look like they have control of this game, despite the punishing assault from PLG early on. PLG now looking to move in, and under the hopes of Dens here to secure the mid-map and try and put the pressure onto Bravo. They're going to be looking to recap that, but 2 players down already. Jimmy and Z-Guy doing a good job holding off that assault. Den's having to move in and watch that flank. They cannot underestimate Ash and Skeptical moving in again, putting that pressure on Geordie.
Yeah, that's the second time that Tribe has allowed Denny's to get into the middle of the map and basically pinch the Bravo squad of Jimmy, Rubber, and Z-Guy. As long as Tribe continues to ignore Dennis in the middle of the map, they're not really going to be able to do much. And although it is still a close game, as long as you keep him there, he's going to continue to try and get some shots and pinch those players on the Bravo flag, and it's just going to make things that much more difficult for Tribe. It looks like they are winning a lot of their gunfights right now, which is helping them. They do have about a 10-ticket lead at this point, but that's extremely dangerous to leave him there by himself, although it does seem to be working out so far.
And now we're starting to see Tribe push the fight towards that mid-map, create some space between PLG and that Bravo flag here, which is going to be incredibly important. You know, fighting on that Bravo flag only leaves you one chance to defend, whereas if you can push that fight towards that mid-map, you can really start to plan how you're going to play your defense in depth here. You can get behind some of these guys as they get a bit aggressive. We're seeing Evo go down, but Robson able to get the good trade there on Jimmy. And we're starting to see Tribe fall back left, right, and center. Z-Guy is going to be the one to back up Bravo here. He's got Robson in the flag on his own. Spawns coming in for Robson, which is going to be really nice. And now we're in a 2v1 situation as Switch is able to get in and lend a hand.
Yeah, PLG doing a really good job there of winning their gunfights and being able to rotate. It looked like Tribe actually had a pretty good line set up there, but one by one, they just weren't able to get the trades quickly enough, and PLG was able to rotate onto the Alpha flag, where Saint was able to hold it down for a long while. We see Jordy actually rock in the Recon class, so that's going to be a bit of a switch up there, but you know, Tribe is doing a really good job of holding their line so far. That was kind of just, I guess, an outlier in how they've been able to control the map, but still, it's looking like PLG is trying to play a little bit faster than they normally would, and that might cost them a little bit, as it looks like Tribe is getting a little bit more map control here.
Yeah, well, the thing with PLG is they're very smart players, and you might not notice this in a lot of their games. They never really attack the same flag twice. They push onto the flag. If they end up getting pushed back, they decide, you know what, we've drawn some players into this objective. They're going to be standing still, waiting for the next push. So let's hold on and we'll attack the A flag instead. Draw some of those players away and give us some time to reset. And it's a tactic that PLG use over and over and over again until the point where they break you down, they form that death stack, and then there's nothing really much that you can do. But Tribe are absorbing that pressure a lot, and with Rubber picking up that triple in the mid-map there, it's going to really start to cause some issues for the likes of PLG.
Yeah, Rubber really is going to be the key for this Tribe team. You know, Tribe really had a lot of trouble early on in the season trying to find a solid medic to partner with Z-Guy. You know, they really are a platoon or a team that's made up of a lot of AC players. So the question for Tribe for a lot of the season was, okay, who's going to be that second medic? Who's going to be able to fill that role and add some much needed slaying to the roster? Rubber has elected to fill that role, and you know, they held PLG there for a good, I'd say, 30 seconds and really have taken a commanding lead in this round so far, although PLG has been able to rotate, and it looks like they're going to be able to get a 2-cap here momentarily. It looks like Z-Guy is over on the Charlie flag. He's going to hop on that momentarily as well. So Tribe coming out with a bit of a surprising lead here early on, and I think that you could attribute a lot of that to the play of Rubber getting a lot of kills in the mid-map.
Yeah, but then we saw some really important kills coming for that PLG side. They stacked 3 on that mid-map, able to then push into A and get some really important wipes. We saw a really big push on towards that Bravo flag, wiping out the last 2 guys defending that. And with that, PLG have immediately managed to nearly grab that triple cap here. Luckily, Z-Guy was there on that Charlie flag, like you say. Tribe are now going to start to rotate things, try and grab Bravo, hold that mid-map control, and take control of the game once again. Z-Guy getting absolutely beamed by Saint, who's just bouncing between the positions on that mid-map, now moving back towards Alpha to put that pressure on towards Alpha.
Yeah, it seems like the game plan for Tribe here is to try and hold a line for as long as possible. You know, get some chunks of tickets from holding the 2-cap, and then once they start losing their gunfights, they're going to do an opposite rotation of what PLG is doing. It seems to be working so far, but that only works as long as you're winning your gunfights for an extended amount of time. It's going to be interesting to see how that strategy and that game plan holds up, you know, the more or the deeper we get into this match.
Yeah, and you know, Tribe's goal at this point, obviously, if you guys are new to this here, each round consists of 2 halves on the map. And it's a team with the highest tickets towards the end of the game after winning will be the ones to win that round. Even if Tribe lose this, if they can get it under 40 tickets of that PLG lead, it gives them a good chance of winning the next half of the map and getting higher than those 40 tickets. It really, really makes a huge difference here. But they're putting the pressure on PLG, but it does look like PLG really did not like that early game lead here from that Tribe side, and they're locked out of Alpha. Geordie's already hawking the spawn with the likes of Evo, and it looks like that Tribe side is wasting no time putting that pressure on Dens here, who's going to be in a 1v3 situation. If he's not too careful, he has to get set up quick here to at least slow this attack down and get some support.
Yeah, so this triple cap is basically going to completely negate the lead that Tribe once had, and it's going to be a very important rotation getting into on the Charlie flag here to be able to stop the bleed, and it looks like Jordy is being the lone member on the Alpha side of things, trying to lock and make sure that there's no leaks anywhere. He's going to win an important gunfight against Z-Guy, and Disaster has kind of struck for Tribe here, who now have not only lost their lead, but have dipped behind PLG, and this is where it can get pretty ugly. Now, keep in mind, PLG is playing on the quote-unquote stronger side of the map, so this is a very difficult triple cap to get out of, but I think at this point Tribe is going to try and get as many tickets as they can, as you know, PLG is going to get into a strong lockdown position.
Yeah, now it's all up to that Tribe side to see how they break out of this spawn trap here. It's always very, very important that kind of within the first 30 seconds of getting in this spawn trap, you try and get someone to break through, whether you just train and stack all 5 of your players and hope one gets out to the other side of the map, or you actually beat these guys off, get that squad wipe and resecure Alpha. It's important that you do that within that first 30 seconds. Otherwise, it's really going to punish you with this triple cap here. But Switch is able to take out 3. Unfortunately, Dens comes in at the last minute to get the trades here. He's now falling back. He's on top of the Alpha position. He sees players moving to his left. But now it's time for Tribe to break out. They need to be skipping spawns at this point. They're holding on for just way too long. And even with 40 tickets left on the board, they're slowly starting to get into the danger zone here with PLG in a comfortable 82 ticket lead.
Yeah, Ash is going to try and get up on the Bravo flag here, and he's going to be met by 4 separate PLG members. Den is the only person on the Alpha flag proper. And, you know, this is a bit of a disappointing end to what was a promising start for Tribe. You know, I think if you're Tribe, even though you're probably cursing out a couple of names in the chat right now, I know I would be, you know, you got to think about what you were accomplishing. This is by far PLG's best map. You're playing on the bad side, and you had about a 30-ticket lead. You just lost a pretty important team fight and missed a rotation here or there. So even though 80 tickets is a bit of a big lead, I think you still need to take away some kind of positive here as Ash and Milk and the other Tribe members are going to continue to try and fight and get out of this. But I've been on the bad side of this triple cap, and I've been on the good side of this triple cap. It is very unpleasant to try and get out of.
Yeah, no, 100%. And this is where PLG excels. No matter how strong your defense is, they'll hit one flag, they'll then hit the other flag, they'll then go back to Bravo, and they'll find themselves in with a victory. And in this time, it's 0-79. PLG taking the first half of round 1 on Lofton Islands with quite a commanding lead. We'll just have to see how Tribe can bounce back after this. Yeah,
I think really one of the things that got Tribe into some trouble, as I said, and I called it out earlier on, is that they just did not do a good job of locking down the middle of the map. And as we were talking pre-game about what it takes to win on Lofton, one of the things I said early on was you need to get mid-map control because it just makes rotations so much easier. And I think although Tribe was doing a good job of getting those 2 caps early on and getting a couple of chunk tickets, they kind of let PLG rotate all over them once they lost a couple of gunfights, and that really led to the downfall. That was the ending of that first round, but again, that was the bad side for Tribe. That was the good side for PLG. We'll see how Tribe responds once they get a better side. Now, 80 tickets is a large lead, but it's not an insurmountable lead, and I know that you and I have casted play games with PLG, and I know you and I can remember, or maybe that was Brett that I was casting with, a separate time where PLG had massive leads against, I think it was Exceed. I think that was ESB Season 1. And, we saw some amazing comebacks. So let's see how Tribe Black responds.
Yeah, and like I said, they're on the better side of the map here. They're going to be able to get into mid-map control so much quicker than PLG are able to. So we just need to see what they can do with this. They really need to try and get on top of this PLG push. They can't afford to get squad wiped like they did before. The moment they get put under pressure, they need someone pushing around those flanks, playing a bit sneaky, acting as that big spawn beacon. And you cannot let all of PLG get on the same flag at once. The moment that death stack appears, you're pretty much done for. So Tribe really need to put the pressure on early on here. Now, Lofton is 80 tickets away if Tribe are able to take this second half here before we move into their pick of devastation. Both teams have started off, and it looks like we're going to have very similar starts from the very beginning. Let's see how Tribe tackle this situation on Bravo. Let's jump onto Switch and see what he does.
Yeah, Rubber and Z doing a really good job last round. I think the Bravo squad really needs the AC squad for Tribe to pick up some of the slack. You should look for the AC squad of Tribe, Ash, and Skeptical Mount to be a little bit more aggressive. I think if they're a little bit more aggressive, they can start putting some more pressure on PLG and potentially could start winning some more gunfights and start working down this ticket. But, oh my goodness, a full wipe by the Bravo squad of Tribe, and now PLG is getting some early picks over on, and they're starting to get really aggressive here, Wild.
Yeah, that's the second time Robson has played for the upper half of that Bravo objective here, and it should have been called out immediately from that first time. Hey, starting off, Robson's going to be up there. That's his play. That's what PLG do. And they had to shut that down very, very quickly. We're seeing Ash and Jimmy doing some beautiful work in that mid-map there, just slowly cutting PLG down. Jimmy's having to fall back. Unfortunately, he got hunted out by Dens there. So really, it's just Skeptical Milk and Ash left on that Charlie flag for defense. PLG wrapping around that left-hand side, Bravo side of Charlie. And Skeptical Milk really needs to start picking these guys off and putting pressure in the mid-map.
Yeah, so Tribe are going to elect to do a flank on the AC road, but I think the person important to kill here is Jordy. Jordy, you're going to see him over by the docks. You know, you're really not going to be able to break out unless you kill Jordy here because, not PLG, but Tribe is going to start Zerg rushing, trying to get some bodies on the flags, and as soon as they push far off on the flag, you're just going to see Jordy slip his way onto the Charlie flag. And Skeptical Milk must be hearing my inner dialogue here as Jordy actually goes down, so that might open up the map just a little bit for Tribe, but Dennis is going to hop on the Charlie flag. So, you know, Tribe has dug themselves into a bit of a deep hole early on, Mike. So we'll see if they can break out of it.
I mean, they were able to move around to the Alpha flag. A nice three-man push was securing that. Jumping onto Saint here is going to be the lone defender trying to slow these guys down on Bravo. He's falling back more and more. He's just going to keep these guys slow and let the rest of his team capture Charlie and then back him up. He tries to spray him, but Z-Guy, with the help of his teammates, are able to just slow that down. But it's given time for Evo and the rest to spawn up, push up to Bravo. We're jumping on to Switch and Z-Guy here as they start to push in. Smokes are going out on the dock side. Switch looking to get inside the building. As Z-Guy literally running straight under someone. Grenades coming in from Evo as he looks to wrap that up. Z-Guy is right below him. Robson going to get the pinch, and with that going to get the Kurokai kill.
Yeah, so this is really dangerous. This is exactly what you don't want to do against PLG, is starting to get into a rotation war. You saw Z-Guy and Rubber trying to get on the Bravo flag in a 2v, I believe that might have been a 2v2 or a 2v3 situation, and now you're basically playing a rotation game, which, as I pointed out early before the round even started, is something you don't want to do against PLG because they do have that synergy and they do know when to make those right rotations, and that is partly due to their medic plays. So, 10 tickets isn't, anything to panic about yet for Tribe. It seems like they've kind of gotten themselves under control a little bit, but PLG definitely have strong map control right now, and you can sense it. You can kind of just feel it in the way that, these two teams are playing against each other right now.
Yeah, PLG definitely dictating the pace of the game here. They are letting Tribe play right into their hands and where they want to go. Skeptical Milk now pushing into the building. Someone right in front of him. He didn't see that bean at the last minute as Saint's able to pick up a nice double there on that Bravo objective. We're seeing Ash looking to clean up that Charlie flag. He's got one more person on there. He's got some teammates pushing up the top, and Jimmy's able to get that. That Jimmy-Ash combo is doing extremely well on that Charlie and mid-map there, and it's really holding Tribe together. But PLG now slowing the pace of the game right down. They've got 2 flags in the bag. They're winning some important gunfights. They're over 20 tickets in the lead here, so they can just slow things right down, wait for Tribe to push out and get a bit aggressive before they then make their move on to Charlie. Saint's feeling it. He's hungry for that flag as he starts to move up. He fires in towards that mid-map. Doesn't quite get the kill there, but gets quite a big hit. And now he's starting to make his way in towards Charlie.
Yeah, the only problem with that Ash-Jimmy combo is that it's not supposed to be a combo right now. Ash and Jimmy are in opposite squads, and they're playing around each other, so I know that's kind of natural for those two. Those two have been playing together for a long time, but in this sense, that means that the squads are scrambled, and you're losing chances for easy trades between the squad members, since you're not actively playing around the squads together, if you're getting my reasoning here. So, I think if you take a look at the scoreboard here, it looks like the B squad is struggling mightily. You see Z-Guy at 1-4, you see Rubber at 1-5, and I think that's the difference right now as PLG goes in for another triple cap here, trying to end the second round just as strongly as they ended the first round. I think the squads are scrambled for Tribe. I think the communication is probably scrambled a little bit as well, and PLG is just taking full advantage of, as I said earlier, this rotation war that's going on.
Yeah, and Tribe is extremely split up right now. They're trickling into these PLG players. They don't really know what they're doing. Jimmy's able to go in big with that triple and clean out that Charlie objective while the rest of his team pushes in. What he has to do now is just waste no time, leg his way to Alpha so he can split the forces coming in and spawning up at that Bravo flag. He's getting held up in the mid here. He needs to just ignore Bravo, high take it to Alpha, act as a spawn beacon for the rest of his team, because PLG are now spawned in. He's on the flag. They know there's someone there, and right now he's just being a bit useless. He has to keep that pace up and start to turn those PLG heads. But him, Skeptical Milk, and Ash doing some really good work. They've absolutely clean and sweeped out Bravo. One more player left on the flag, but the rest are now piling in from Alpha.
So it looks like Tribe is winning the battle on Bravo right now. As you suggested, I would have probably sent somebody to Alpha Flag. It would have had better odds. The important kill actually came from Ash, who picked up Dennis, who took out the random Charlie spawn over on the cliffs on the opposite side of the map, and that was a big kill to get. But, you know, Tribe doing a good job of winning their gunfights on the Bravo flag, and we've actually seen a bit of a momentum shift here. It's going to be down to the push, the counter push here, I should say, by PLG. You see Skeptical Mel left by himself. He's going to be in a 1v2 situation here. Ash getting a little bit of crossfire over on the Bravo flag, but it looks like PLG might have successful retake here. Big gunfight. Skeptical Milk wins the first one. It looks like just Saint is left on the flag. Going to be an important gunfight right here.
Yeah, he needs to lock him down quickly, or at least spray into that building to stop spawns from coming in. He knows that he's around here somewhere. The spawns did end up coming in, and PLG holding the high ground on Bravo and just running around outside. Skeptical Milk narrowly misses one. He only has enough rounds for a kill. Unfortunately, he doesn't land any shots there, and we are going to be jumping on to Switch, last member of Tribe alive on Bravo, as another triple cap is setting in. PLG leading the second half of Lofton Island, 112 to 66.
Yeah, we called it out as Jimmy got the really fantastic three-piece, and you can see a group of Tribe huddled in that red house by Alpha. So more or less, I think you can probably say that they'll be able to get the Alpha flag, but they chose to rush the Bravo flag instead of the Alpha flag, and the only issue with that is even though they were able to win the Bravo flag, they gave up map control to PLG through that big Zerg push to the Bravo flag, and you were able to see, I believe it was Dennis and maybe Jordy push their way back onto the Charlie flag, and now basically we're back where we started before, Jimmy got the massive triple kill, and that is Tribe in a rotation war with PLG, and PLG continuing to win those gunfights.
Yeah, and this is the thing with that rotation war that you were saying before. The way that PLG fight and the way that they move around the map, because they're never attacking the flag more than once, playing a rotation just isn't favorable at all, because they're going to be bouncing onto the next flag really quick, and if you're busy rotating around the map, you're not able to get in and defend those flags that matter the most. Even by just leaving one player there, you cannot afford to get into those 1v1 gunfights with PLG.
Yeah, it's really difficult, and what we're seeing here is PLG continuing to flex their map control. Dennis is firing on the Bravo flag from Charlie. You say Jimmy and Z-Guy basically pinned down over there by Big Rock outside Bravo, and PLG really have done a better job this time, I think, of exploiting some of the weaker links in this Tribe lineup, which is, I believe, some inexperience on their side, especially with the meta class, and then not really having a true group of medics that they can crutch on and rely on. And, we're going to see almost a potentially bigger win on the second side than, PLG had on the first side. But, Tribe really made it hard on themselves from the get-go, and I think that's the product of what we're seeing here.
Yeah, and I think, that early start from Tribe really shake things up for PLG. And, PLG don't like to lose. It's kind of...
No, they don't.
Right now. You take a map off of PLG, and they're fuming about it. So they work on it, they try hard, and when Tribe come out of nowhere and start to really put that pressure on, PLG are just going to retaliate in spectacular fashion. And that's what they've done in that second half here. And it's what we're seeing now. They're immediately watching the behinds on all of the flags, watching those random spawns. Z-Guy was able to get that. It's already going to be getting called out. Charlie flag is being held by Geordie on his own with the help of Denz, who just keeps moving into that mid-map. And Tribe just finding it hard to find any footing, because no matter where they go, they're being challenged by somewhere else. They have to try and keep that pace up. They need to make smart decisions there. I think it was a big mistake from Jimmy trying to push onto that Bravo flag with his team. The moment you're able to break Charlie, you have to push out and try and grab all the flags and put the craziest amount of pressure that you can on these teams. Once you get out of a spawn trap like that, it didn't happen, and PLG punished Tribe for it.
Yeah, and if you take a look at the scoreboard here, Wild, what you'll see is that maybe you're expecting somebody to go absolutely insane on the PLG side, although Jordy does have a very good kill-death ratio right now. You see a lot of pretty even scores in comparison to the other side, where Jimmy has 24, Ash has 13, and then, of course, the medics for Tribe are struggling mightily right now. But what that tells me is, again, what we've been saying this entire time, it's that PLG, when you have scores like that, it means that even though you may be winning in terms of kills, you're not winning in terms of rotation. And that is PLG's game. They are going to out-rotate you and make you irritated with their killing as well and their slaying ability. So yeah, that's kind of tells the story about what we've seen on Lofoten, and it's going to be up to Tribe to try and get back to their game plan, not necessarily get back to the drawing board. I think Devastation is going to be a little bit easier for Tribe, but they're going to have some work to do.
Oh, for sure, and it will play into their favor as well. Lofoten's a very open map. It's very quick to bounce between flag to flag, and that's where PLG seem to exceed, and they've done that in spectacular fashion. Like I said, 99-0, taking the first round of tonight, Lofoten Islands, at a 2-0. So we'll be moving into the next map of Devastation very shortly, guys. And if you like what you're seeing here tonight, make sure you like, follow, and subscribe all of the socials from the ESB network. We're here to bring you some of the best competitive action from the Battlefield competitive scene, and your support is always appreciated.
Yeah, a lot of story in this final here, Wild. Of course, Jimmy and Ash being former PLG members, they won with PLG in seasons 1 and 2 of the ESBT5 series. And, they decided to go back to where they got their start. They decided to go back home for one reason or another, and they were able to really help this Tribe Black team elevate themselves to this final position. And it's a true, I don't necessarily want to say a true underdog story, because face it, Tribe has always had a lot of talent. Whether the experience has been there, that's always been the big question mark when it comes to Tribe, is how much experience are they going to have, especially in these big games, the grand finals. And, Jimmy and Ash really have that experience, and you can see that they're really trying to will this team to do some really great things. But PLG is just such a strong team, as we saw in that first round, that first map, rather. So I just find that so interesting, just the dichotomy, dichotomy, between these two teams, and the overlapping players. They know each other well. They've been teammates. They've been opponents, and it's all coming to a head in these grand finals.
Yeah, and with that, we'll be moving into round 2 of tonight's grand final for the Season 3 PS4 Division 1 season. We're moving on to Devastation. This is the Tribe's map pick, so they've definitely put some thought into how they're going to play this game. A complete polar opposite to how Lofoten ends up working out. It's a lot more laney. It's a straight line between each objective here, and you've definitely got a lot of cover to start to split these teams around and sneak around the map. Lofoten's very, very unforgiving because it allows players to start moving around the map very, very quickly. So we just have to see how Tribe end up playing this one. It does look like the rosters are slightly the same, but we do have Blau moving in for that Tribe Black side as we begin this game. Tribe in the blue and PLG in the red. Jumping into the overview here, we'll just see and wait when the teams spawn in and begin.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a false start here. And for Tribe, I'm sure there's going to be a bit of an agreed start time here. Is we're gonna, I don't know, we'll see if these teams elect to do a full restart, or if they'll agree on a time here. It looks like they've evened out the tickets, and they'll find another time to start on here. But yeah. Z getting subbed out for Blau, it looks like, and this is a really good, I think, sub for Tribe. As Z was struggling a little bit on that second round, and Blau probably is one of the better support players in the game. He's got a nasty bar shot. I've been on the receiving end, and it's not fun. So Blau was going to bring a little bit more of a lane holder presence to this Tribe team. So hopefully hopefully, at least in their minds, they're going to be able to kind of contain PLG inside the Bravo flag.
Yeah, and it's always important on Devastation that you never fight inside the flag. You always push out. We really need to start to see Tribe putting the pressure on PLG. If they push through and grab Bravo, they need to move out towards the back end of the church here. Start setting up that defense in that broken area at the front. Start firing straight into Alpha and put the pressure on those lanes. And that means if your front line fails, you're able to respawn on Bravo, and you start to begin that defense in depth here. And that's how you're going to stop that PLG death stack. It's how you're going to stop these guys pushing onto the flag. If you try and fight them on the points, you're probably going to lose.
Yeah, something that doesn't really show up on the scoreboard here, but a lot of, seasoned competitive players know is that the late spawns on this map are disastrous. So kind of a byproduct of these teams having a bit of a whoopsie and a false start is that Team Germany, or the German side, which is Tribe Black, is going to get to the Bravo flag much, much quicker. And it's not really all that close. You can see them already on the Bravo flag here, already burning as, PLG is going for a bit of a flank. But yeah, those late spawns can be a little bit cheesy, so to speak. So look for, ProLegion to be really aggressive in trying to flip their momentum straight away.
Yeah, Jimmy going down very, very early on that right flank there as PLG start to make their way around the back of the Bravo flag, where sat here on Switch is going to be holding the center of Bravo, and he's immediately getting engaged the moment he pops his head up. PLG just waiting for the opportunity for Tribe to capture the flag, move out. They're picking off these guys one by one. Saint switching over to the bar. We saw some of these players using the bar in other rounds, and they were absolutely destroying with it. A complete polar opposite to the usual FG42 and Lewis gun meta that we've seen previously throughout the season. Switch looking to rotate round, and Tribe and PLG completely changing their positions on this Bravo flag. Charlie already going down for Tribe as PLG managed to make their way around the map here. Switch going down, Geordie just trying to hold it off as much as possible, while Skeptical Milk and Jimmy look to push towards Alpha. We're jumping onto Dent here. He's going to be trying to slow down their push. He takes out one, looks to take out a second, but Jimmy is going to be able to get the wipe on that one. Saint already on Bravo, and we're going to see a very early triple cap setting in for PLG. Very, very aggressive, dominant start from these guys.
Yeah, it was really kind of funny. Both Robson and Alpha were basically smoke pushing the absolute hell out of Ash, who was the final defense, and they basically ran him off that side of his lane. Like they pushed the absolute bum out of him. And the only problem with Alpha and Robson being both on Charlie is that that's not exactly the range that they want to be playing in. That's typically an AR and a support type of point, so they're going to be continuing to camp that spawn and hold that. But that's both medics on that flag, so revives are going to be slim, far and few between on the Bravo flag once Tribe works its way around to rotating here. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah, but when you've got the likes of Geordie and Saint both running those support classes, FG42 and Bar, they're easily able to outgun most of the classes of that range that they're engaging in. And it's just going to make things nice and easy for them. They're able to support each other. Both those weapons have about 2 kills in each mag if you can land all of your shots at pretty much any range. So they really do complement each other well. They're starting to push now and engage in Alpha. In that position that I mentioned before, you never fight on the Bravo flag. You always push out and start to put the pressure immediately onto the home flag that your teammates start occupying.
Yeah, and you see Saint really holding down Tribe here on the Alpha flag, and I'm sure Alpha and Robson are getting extremely lonely over there on the Charlie flag. Alpha said, screw this, I'm rotating, I need some action, and now it's just Robson that's over there on the Charlie flag. Tribe not really doing the best job of getting out of the flags that they need to. It seems like they're a little bit tentative, a little bit too worried about winning their gunfights. They got a couple of picks here. You'll see Rubber and Blau pushing on the left side. Alpha has worked his way back into the Bravo flag, so Tribe does have numbers. It looks like Ash just went down to Dennis and Jordy, who pushed in from the spawn. So, Tribe doing a poor job right now of kind of getting the let out when they need to. They're playing their game plan, which is holding and separating PLG. They're just not doing it fast enough, I would argue.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You've got to keep that pace up here. Tribe, unfortunately, let the game go a little bit at the early start, so now it's an uphill struggle to try and get back into the map here. They're managing to hold Bravo, which is really well done, but now they're caught in between Charlie and Alpha, which is going to be a real struggle to defend against, because you just don't know where these guys are coming from. And Jimmy looking to move around. He's hearing footsteps above him and around him at the organs. And these will be the medic duo jumping down and just slapping him about.
Yeah, Tribe really was just going to try and go for a reset there. You see Ash moving his way onto the Charlie flag. That should be a pretty easy burn for him. He's got a Lewis gun, I believe, so fair play to any PLG member that tries to challenge him from that position. But the reset for Tribe not really going as planned, as looks like PLG is wrapping up in and around the Bravo flag, and that reset that that Tribe was going for is not going so well for them right now. Both Jimmy and Rubber did get their respawns. Skeptical Milk getting a spawn as well, so it's a 3v4 on Bravo. Excuse me, now a 4v2. We're still a 4v3, so important gunfight here, important team fight here on the Bravo flag if Tribe's going to have a chance to claw back into this one.
Yeah, and now we've seen PLG execute a really classic maneuver. They push in, they grab home, they then refight and retake that alpha flag, forcing that Tribe side to spawn in and hold in Bravo. They then let Tribe retake their home flag here, and those guys that moved in from Charlie don't really care about wiping as much as apart from getting on the right side of the map. Once that happens, it's just a case of fighting on Bravo, making sure you win that gunfight, and then you immediately start to put the pressure back onto Charlie and set yourself up for that spawn trap. And PLG are executing that beautifully. But we're seeing massive gunfights here from the likes of Ash and Jimmy, who have just managed to burst through the center and right flanks of the PLG line. Now starting to put the pressure on the guys respawning at Bravo, and that's going to have saved them a pretty nasty triple catalyst.
Yeah, it's going to save them, but, you know, Ash has elected to stop on the flank. If he kept going, he probably could have made it all the way to Alpha. And, you know, now here comes a counter rotation from PLG. It looks like although Tribe was able to get their initial wins in that gunfight, they were able to get 4 down, I believe, against PLG. They were not able to rotate fast enough. And, you know, that's kind of the con to picking this as your map, as we were talking about early, Wild, is that those rotations take a long time. So if you do win a team fight like Tribe was able to do, you know, PLG almost has enough time to not only completely respawn the people that just got killed in the gunfight, but they have time to almost completely set up as well. So, you know, it's one of those maps that either goes completely for you or it could just go completely against you. And right now, you know, I'm not going to say it's going completely against Tribe as Jimmy is on the Bravo flag. It looks like they're doing a better job of being faster on those rotations, but it's definitely probably, I would argue, one of the more difficult maps to play.
Yeah, definitely. But against PLG, is there really any map that's going to be easy to play?
No, probably not. Nothing against, you know, any other team. I mean, there's plenty of talented teams, and don't get me wrong, this Tribe roster is extremely good. It's just, I think what's holding them back right now is a little bit of lack of experience, and you can see that in the gunfights that they're choosing. And, you know, sometimes things just don't go your way, and they're doing a really good job of staying in it, you know, winning the gunfights that they need to continue to stay in the game. But you just see now, if you take a look at the tabletop, there's a huge line coming in from PLG. It's going to be hard to break through.
Yeah, Saint already getting these shots in. I mean, Saint and Geordie throughout the whole of this game have just been doing absolute work together. And I think this is what really defines PLG from the other sides. They have their pairs, and they work really well as not only a team, but as individual units throughout the map as well. They can trust each other to fall back when they need to support each other when they need to. No two players are ever far away apart that they can't get the trades on the kills there and then pick up the revives. Robson now immediately going down, putting under pressure by Ash here. Saint looking to re-engage, just buying his time. We're seeing the little grenade launch coming out, hits Ash for 61, forcing him to move to a different position. And again, PLG just rooting out these Tribe players and forcing them out of their comfort zones.
Yeah, and you take a look at the scoreboard, it's really just one man doing the most of the damage right now, and that's Geordie. And Geordie just kind of proving right now why a lot of people say that he is the best player in the world on this platform. He's just so deadly with his shot, and he's really playing that FG. I believe he's using an FG42. Yeah, he's playing that FG like he would if he were playing with an assault rifle or even a medic. He's just being super aggressive. He knows where to be on those head glitches, and he's really doing a number on Tribe Black at the moment. And you see now the rest of the PLG squad getting super aggressive, getting in on the Charlie flag. Robson getting a kill, Robson going down, Rubber getting one, and he's being traded out by Alpha as well. And that, I believe, might have been a complete team wipe.
Yep. Yeah, I couldn't switch between players fast enough there on the Tribe side.
Yeah, unfortunate, but really, I mean, you just see the dominance that, you know, we've seen throughout the season, and, you know, PLG is moving into a triple cap here, which should easily end the game.
Yeah, and like we said, it just brings, like, what we're saying to light here. PLG were able to push onto an objective and they managed to get trade off trade after trade. And this is that death stack that I was speaking about. It just keeps rolling, and it doesn't seem to stop no matter what you do. Evo pushing across, getting the trade onto Ash there, allowing Robson to move in for the revives. And now they're looking to fall back out of that Charlie flag, pulling back to Bravo, resetting that line as Tribe managed to break through. But with Dens doing a really good job defending here, just slowing these guys down enough for the rest of his team to push in. He does go down to Jimmy, and Jimmy's going to have to turn around now and just wait for these guys to push in. Predicting Robson's going to come in. Beautiful play there, playing a bit slower, able to get that kill, and now his team's going to be able to jump onto Bravo. But PLG will most likely take this with their 128 ticket lead at the moment. You know, we're going to need to see Tribe come out with a miracle in the next half here.
Yeah, and it's hard not to completely just sit here and butter PLG's biscuit, so to speak. I mean, that's the PG version of what I really want to say, but it's hard not to just sit here and talk about how good they are. But when you take a look at the scoreboard, an 120 to 130 ticket lead on the side one, it's like, how can you not be so praiseworthy of a team that has, you know, played so well together for so long, despite a couple of roster changes, as I alluded to, you know, before this round started. It's hard not to just take a look at the talent that's on the team. And, you know, even if you have a team as talented as Tribe, you know, this is not a slouchy team. Tribe Black is not, you know, so when you take a look at the talent and then you see what's happening in the game, it's hard not to be so praiseworthy as, you know, PLG comes out with a strong first side of map 2, and now Tribe's backs are against the wall. They have about 120 to 130 tickets to bite into. Not impossible, but certainly not easy.
Yeah, completely agree with you there. Tribe have got a lot of work ahead of them here to try and beat this PLG side. They have to at least remember now, after facing them once, that, hey, we know what we need to do. We know what we need to avoid. We've got to watch those flanks. Ash has to keep that pace up. Again, he finds himself in a position like he did last night, where if he kept on pushing, he could have made his way into a position that could have really put PLG under a bit of pressure here, giving his team the chance to move out, spread out, and again, support him as they push up towards the home flag. It didn't happen. Hopefully his team are going to let him know, guys, you need to get your act together, and we might be able to see this go to hopefully a third round, but it's going to take a lot of work from the underdogs of Tribe.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of work, and I think the difference is in the medic play between the two teams. You know, I've talked about it a couple times so far during this broadcast. It's just that, you know, PLG has just such consistent medic play, and Robson and Alpha, for more or less, have been the two main medics that have been playing together for, you know, multiple seasons now. And then you look at Tribe, who, you know, was mostly made up of a lot of AC players. You know, they struggled to find medics early on, and you could see that really being the story here, as both Alpha and Robson, even though it doesn't look like they had a gigantic impact. I mean, Jordy was the one doing the most of the slaying that first round. I can't remember exactly, you know, what his kill total was, but I think Tribe was only running one medic that round. And, you know, those revives, especially on a map like this, in which, you know, you kind of need to get revives, especially on a rotation, you know, it could make or break, you know, a leak for your team. And, you know, I think that is the difference maker. If I had to pinpoint one thing, I would have to say that is the ultimate difference maker between the two teams right now.
Yeah, completely. And with the teams reversed, we're going to be having PLG in the blue and Tribe in the red. As we saw in the first half, we are probably going to see PLG get to that Bravo flag a lot quicker than that Tribe side. So Tribe really need to start pushing through and probing those flanks here and breaking through. They have to start putting that same pressure on PLG that they faced in that second half. They're going through a pretty even split here, trying to get to both of those flanks, and we'll be jumping on Jimmy, as he's probably going to be the first one to engage here onto Bravo. Tribe getting the early push and taking Bravo quite early on.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a very important. Obviously, the first gunfight, or the first team fight rather, of the round is always important. But as you can see, just PLG getting so many kills. I mean, that's 4 down already for the side of Tribe, and you know, PLG is coming in on the better side. They do get to Bravo first. They do get a little bit higher head glitches. And you know, even if you get good positioning, it's very easy to give up a lot of kills on that flag. And although it looks like Ash and Jimmy were able to rotate, maybe trying to go for an AC hold here as both Rubber and Blau are over on the Alpha flag. AC hold can be extremely dirty on this map if you get it and you lock it in. So let's see if they succeed.
Yeah, Jimmy switching to the scout there, landing a beautiful shot there on Evo. We're seeing Geordie now putting the pressure on Alpha, and it's a real shame. We saw Tribe try something different, put PLG under a ton of pressure there, keeping them towards that mid-map, but we're just seeing them getting torn apart on Alpha with Robson and Geordie and Saint, the three players you do not want to be running up against on a flag. Able to retake that Alpha flag. Den's doing a good job putting pressure on Charlie. And we're just seeing here Evo just chilling, waiting for them to push back towards Bravo. Tribe now need to start making moves throughout the map here. These guys on Charlie cannot rest. Leave one dude there, push the other two towards Bravo. Do not stop probing those flags and trying to see where PLG are weak. Skeptical Milk's looking to push out, but taking his time while he does.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a failure in communication there. Obviously, Skeptical Milk spawning on Jimmy and Ash as they push to the Charlie flag. I'm not going to say that Tribe wins that team fight if Skeptical Milk spawns on Rubber and Blau. Actually, he probably couldn't have, considering that they're in separate squads, but maybe he would have been able to get a flag spawn or one of the random spawns off the flag. I think if he chose to take that random spawn, if it was still available, I can't remember if it was still available at that time, but if he takes that spawn, maybe the fight on A has a bit of a better chance to swing Tribe's way. And now they're kind of locked onto the Charlie flag. It looks like Ash is going to stay on the Charlie flag while Jimmy and Milk push in to a 2v2 gunfight here on the Bravo flag.
Yeah, Sets and Milk already getting under fire here, and this is where they really needed to push a lot early on from Charlie. It would have really helped the guys at Alpha, like a huge deal. If they were able to push on and draw the likes of Geordie and Saint off of the flag, then they could have had a nice two-man push onto Alpha, which wouldn't have been impossible, but they took their time. They allowed the guys to set up a nice defense, get comfortable in the position they were. PLG love it when you play into their hands and start playing at their pace. So it's really not favorable for Tribe at the moment, but we start to see Jimmy trying to go in with the bayonet charge. Evo and Geordie not having any of it as Switch falls down, and Geordie's able to save himself from getting a nice knife to the chest.
I mean, I understand the thought process of playing Sniper on this map, I really do, but I think if you're playing anything other than the Scout class in that situation, you might have won that gunfight, and, that's not an indictment against Jimmy as a player. Obviously, he's one of the best natural gun skill players in this entire game, but I think I don't want to necessarily say that's waving the white flag, but I think if you're playing even an assault role in that situation, you have a better chance of winning that gunfight in a very crucial situation. They had the numbers, they had the positioning, but because he was a scout there, I can't help but say that probably led to them losing that team fight.
Exactly. Ash now on his own for Charlie, just sitting and waiting. It looks like Tribe will split up into some separate squads here to see what happens. Bravo now going back into the hands of Tribe here. So they're doing a good job, but Ash needs to stay on that flag. He needs to try and hunt this guy down as spawns are starting to come in. We start to see PLG looking like they're going to retake the flag Evo a lot closer to the center than they are. Switch doing a good job taking out Robson, but it looks like Saint is causing some issues in the rear end of Bravo. Switch wasting no time, looking to push out and try and engage some of these guys around the back end by the aid stations here. He needs to be careful before moving out and needs to back up Jimmy. Jimmy sees where he is, so now it's time for Switch to start to push up. Jimmy takes out one. There's probably going to be a second, and Robson goes down as well. And this is that double pair teamwork that we need to start seeing from Tribe if they stand any chance of winning. One person sees and shoots while the other one gets up in that face. If that person who gets up dies, then that person behind you is going to get that trade, and that's how you're going to start to beat a team like PLG.
Yeah, and it looks like the long-winded battle on the Charlie flag is going to go to the way of Tribe. Although Robson and Geordie are going to get spawns on the random, it looks like it's going to be a two-flag hold, at least initially, for Tribe, so they are showing some fight. It looks like Jimmy has switched classes. That's going to help them tremendously. Looks like Skeptical Milk did a really good job on that Charlie flag, not only staying alive himself, but doing enough of creating enough chaos to prevent a respawn there for PLG. So some really good work there. And now Alpha's in a 1v2 against Milk and Jimmy on the Charlie flag, while it looks like Robson and Dennis are going at it with Rubber on the Bravo flag.
And we're seeing Blau getting the random spawn on Bravo, but instead of moving through and trying to push that alpha flag here, he's deciding to go and lend his teammate a hand on Bravo. You know, again, some of these decisions to me that just confused the hell out of me here. Bravo's being challenged. You can guarantee there's at least 2 players of PLG. You've got to assume that at all times. So let your teammate hold it off for as long as possible. Push to Alpha, and then once you've grabbed Alpha, you can bounce back towards Bravo. Charlie's on full lock with 3 players there defending it. You cannot hope to hold one flag with just 2 people. Your best chance is to start pushing all of the flags at the same time and hope for the best.
Yeah, Tribe is really being screwed over right now by the fact that they were fighting at PLG's home flag, so there's no real way that you can get a complete wipe there and just say, oh, well, there's not going to be anybody there anymore. We can go and push back on the Bravo flag and push the agenda and push PLG back into their spawn. Well, you're fighting in their spawn right now. They have those home spawns that they can just take over and over and over, and, you know, they have the tickets to be able to continuously challenge that, and, you know, as we can see right now, you know, while you're leaving somebody to continue stay on their home flag to make sure that they just don't get a cakewalk onto it in a retake, you have less people that are protecting that counter push, and that's exactly what they saw as PLG was able to basically roll right in and get back the Bravo flag. Although Tribe did get a leak back to Alpha, so I believe they're probably going to try and get a flip here.
Yeah, and despite how much pressure Tribe are under right now, they managed to keep the score relatively even, and they're taking us quite a long time for PLG to secure a lead here. PLG still leading 119 to 98, but nowhere near the end that we saw in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, there's not really much that you can do here, as you can, especially with Blau and Jimmy holding the flag against a 3-man push. I mean, they know that they're coming, but at least they have the benefit of being closer to their spawn this time around. So they do have their respawns if necessary. Looks like Charlie flag is now going down as Rubber and Ash are electing to push the Bravo flag, and they're going to again continue to try and get the flip here. Has the potential to work. It's going to rely upon Blau and Jimmy to win this team fight against Robson, Dennis, and Alpha at a bit of a disadvantage because they do have those 2 medics pushing, so revives are not in their favor as Jimmy goes down, and now it's a 1v3 for Blau. Does get 1. Let's see if he can get any more.
Yeah, and this is Blau's job now. He just has to hold on to Alpha for as long as possible. But we saw Ash move off of Charlie, which meant an uncontested flag for Geordie to just waltz into. We're now starting to see a nice reset coming in for Tribe, but unfortunately they weren't able to hold up Alpha as long as they could. Jimmy spawns up and is immediately being re-engaged. He's spawning up as that sniper class to try and get the shots off and spot some of these guys out, but he's immediately getting zoned out, and Evo's just sat there like, you know what, your sniper isn't going to help you. My FG42 is just going to be the one to gun you down.
Wow, that was a long range gunfight for Alpha to win there. Impressive aiming right there by Alpha Evo, though Rubber does, you know, is able to come in from behind, and an effective pinch right there for Tribe as they do end up getting the flip that they needed, although a little bit later. But now Skeptical Milk is going to need a spawn as he's in a 1v2, and both of them are supports, probably both of them rocking the FG42. Let's see what he's able to do. He's going to get Saint, but Jordy is going to push him from behind, and that's going to be easy peasy lemon squeezy right there for PLG. Just a simple bait and switch, as looks like Bravo is going to be going down for PLG here.
Yeah, and, you know, PLG played that really nicely. Tribe tried to get that reset, and it looks like they finally were able to take off their home flag, and now they're pushing up towards the center there. Skeptical Milk and Hashtag looking to move around and hold that left flank. We're starting to see the Lewis gun out now in a bit of close quarters gameplay. Ash now needs to take his time and push towards Charlie. He is that guy that you can leave on the flag on his own. He's just going to beam Geordie while he's at it, and now he's going to move towards that Charlie flag. I mean, if I'm honest, he should have just kept running. He's taken out Geordie. Geordie's going to be able to call that out to the rest of the team. He's now going to be able to have the chance to spawn on Charlie and engage if he wanted to. It doesn't look like PLG are going to give them the opportunity as Jimmy's running for his life, getting shot in the back there. Again, Evo just doesn't want to give Jimmy a break at this point. First, it was the FG42 on Alpha. Then it's the ZK now shooting him as he's running away on Bravo. Evo has definitely not enjoyed Jimmy one bit. and he's picked up that sniper, now making his way over towards that alpha flag, finding himself a good long range engagement distance here, finding himself a very favorable spot, and he's immediately putting rounds down range.
Yeah, I mean, as much as you want to say, well, Ash should just keep running, it's super scary on that flank. And, the last thing you want is to run all that way just to get shot in your back. So, it's a very 50-50 decision. And obviously, Ash chose wrong there. He probably should have just kept running, but I can definitely understand how in that mindset, he's like, well, I just passed through, a very high traffic area against a team that is very, very smart. So it is best to watch my back. But as you said, Wild, PLG starting to get into position to at least try and put some clamps on Tribe here. It does look like Ash and Skeptical Milk are on a flank here. Jordy in a 1v2, so he's momentarily stopping a flank, although the flag is burning for the side of Tribe.
Yeah, Jimmy trying to get a few no-scopes here at close range. Out comes the pistol, tries to engage, hits for 76, but again, a pistol versus a ZK, there's not much you can do. Skeptical Milk again now on Bravo, doesn't really know what to do at this point, slowly pieing around the corner, but he just sees a wave of PLG now bursting over the cover, and with that, it's going to be a complete squad wipe from the Tribe side as they now bounce back from Alpha, looking to engage Bravo. PLG leading the second half of Devastation 90-57. A lot better result than the first round for Tribe, but still not the one they're after.
No, definitely. I mean, PLG smells blood on the water. I think, especially after you get a 128 ticket win in the first round, you can kind of relax and take your foot off the gas. So, maybe that's a little bit of what's happening here. But I think one thing that PLG is doing extremely well, especially today, is they're making the correct squad spawns when they need to. It always seems like they are spawning in the right places to be able to overrun the defenders that Tribe have left on a certain flag. It always seems like when we're talking about a counter rotation, you and myself, Wild, it always seems like PLG has numbers, and that's credit to their communication. That's credit to spawning in the right area. And now you see PLG, I don't believe there's anybody leaking. Yeah, so PLG is starting to put those clamps on Tribe, and they're trying to end this thing now.
Yeah, PLG starting to wrap round now. We're seeing the likes of Saint just sitting and waiting at the obvious flanking points here while the rest of his team push in and put that pressure on. And everyone's just, again, like waiting to spawn and see what happens. They're fighting in Tribe's half of the map here, which, again, slows things down. Smoke's going down. And, again, it's not about getting the kills at this point for PLG. It's just about being the biggest pain in the backside that you can possibly be for this side and just tying players up, picking them off one by one. Robson doing a good job of somehow staying alive, hits Blau out through the smoke there, goes for the second against Skeptical Milk, forcing the one-on-one gunfights and preventing these guys getting the trades. And that is the beautiful play there that we like to see from that PLG side. And now they're immediately pushing in for that triple cap as they lead this game 86-25.
Yeah, that's a 2v1 that you have to win if you're Tribe. Robson just being able to pull out the Houdini, being able to win that fight, and now Ash has just spawned in the top of the train yard there. So it looks like Tribe is going to be able to get back on the flag, although they now find themselves in a 2v2, now a 2v1, and now a 2v0. So really just an excellent job right there of Robson of winning a crucial gunfight, and now it looks like Blau is the last one up for Tribe, and he is sitting outside Bravo flag, going to get probably a lot of spawns, and I think they'll probably elect to push to Charlie flag, but that is pretty much all she wrote, Wild. This thing is done.
Yeah, PLG just really putting the hurt on. Tribe spawning up on the left-hand side of Bravo, immediately getting put under fire by Geordie and Saint, the two support classes that you do not want to get caught out in the open in that median gunfire range. And before they've even pushed in, they're 2 players down. Another 2 more go down to the likes of Dens. Saint just having an absolute blast. And as they look to fall back, Geordie is there. Skeptical Milk able to get 1 kill off, but he's on his own. He's just got to sit and wait for his teammates to spawn on him. But PLG know he's on his own. Jimmy spawns up with that recon class, looking to probably get something for the frag movie there. Skeptical Milk. Hey, whoa, what a headshot that was as he able beams Saint as they push through, capture Bravo. But 81-4, I think it is all she wrote there. Catalyst. Tribe doing their best as the underdogs moving through, breaking the long-time tradition of PLG and Law making it into the finals. They've done a pretty good job here, But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, winning 80-0 and taking the second map here. They've won 4 straight rounds in this Season 3 Grand Final. PLG are your Grand Finalists. The 3rd final in a row that they have won in this ESB series. And what an epic game it has been, Catalyst.
Only on esportbf.com.